everyone, welcome to youtube.com/noblewoos. Today I'm going to be discussing the situation with Woozworld and the use of AI in the outfit contests, specifically the Halloween outfit contest for this year. But before we start, I would love to thank Faith Moore and PinkyPie089 for supporting my channel. Disclaimer before the video starts, this video is not attacking Woozworld or anyone who submitted contest entries. This video is simply me describing the situation and putting my take on it. Do not go out of your way to find anybody mentioned in this video, and please do not send anybody hate or harassment. So, if you haven't already heard or noticed by the looks of this video, the 2025 Halloween outfit design contest was not like the usual outfit contests. This one was a little different. It caused a little bit of backlash. We were having issues with AI being used. If you're really active in the community, you have probably heard some things about this. This was mostly talked about in Woozworld Discord servers and Walls comments. This situation was something that kind of piqued my interest, and I kind of wanted to talk about it. Because I feel like there's actually not a lot of people who know about this situation if you're not really active in the community, like I said. I also have seen a lot of people talking about it, and a lot of people had really strong opinions and statements. I want to share mine, and I want to hear more of your guys' opinions on this. Before I tell you guys the whole story, I'm going to start off with a very short explanation of what AI is, just in case you somehow are not aware. AI is basically like a robot on the computer or internet. Artificial intelligence is the simulation of human intelligence in machines programmed to think, learn, and solve problems like humans. One simple example of AI that you're probably familiar with is Siri on your iPhone. But then we have the more advanced AIs like ChatGPT. And then the even more advanced AIs that can create scary realistic videos that literally trick the entire internet. Not the entire internet, but they sure do trick millions of people. AI has advanced and become so much more popular this past year. It's literally everywhere online, and I even see it in real life. But anyway, as we all know, or most of you know, AI is a problem. Especially this past year, like I said, it's just been advancing and getting really popular like crazy. It's been becoming a problem. One of the many things AI can do is create pictures or edit or tweak pictures. And it can get very specific. Even though AI can be hard to tell from reality these days, there are a few things that you can look out for to see if something's fake. I just want to say thank you so much to Marza32 for telling me so much about this situation. She really helped with the making of this video. She gave me so much information and even some screenshots. So this starts off with, Woozworld announcing the contest. Now, in most of Woozworld's outfit contests, they always have rules, and usually in the rules they say, no AI, AI is prohibited, like, if we find AI in your submission, then you're disqualified. For this Halloween contest, they made a mistake and they did not include that in the rules. Now, some people noticed this and went, I'm going to use AI to make my submission or tweak my submission so that I can win and it'll look good. Which, technically, yeah, they were not breaking the rules of the contest. But was that really okay, is what most people are saying. Now, when Woozworld originally announced the winners of this contest, I guess before they announced them, they kind of realized that they didn't say no AI was allowed, so they realized that some of the submissions were AI. In the article announcing the winners, they said, about the use of AI, we're aware that some designs may have been created with the help of AI tools, or AI was used to maybe modify the end result. Since there were no rules prohibiting the use of AI in this contest, we did our best in choosing the winners and in accepting what we were comfortable with. AI is more and more difficult to detect every day, and we will make our best to have rules addressing our guidelines in the upcoming contests. So even though they knew that there was AI in the contest, they couldn't really do much because technically the people weren't going against the rules of the contest because, once again, they forgot to put it in the rules. So, like they stated, they did their best in choosing the winners and in accepting what they were comfortable with. Meaning they still chose some of them that they knew were made or modified using AI. Because, once again, the people technically weren't breaking the rules of the contest. And they also admitted that it's really difficult to detect AI sometimes. Now, I don't know exactly what the comments on this article said because it has since then actually been deleted, but I do still have the screenshot of the article that Marza sent me. So because of all of the backlash over that article in the comments and on Discord, they deleted the article and basically released a part 2. It's called Halloween Design Contest Results Take 2. This article was basically just a response to all of the backlash they were getting for still knowingly picking submissions that were AI. It says, Woozens, your Halloween creativity was off the charts, and we made a mistake in how everything was presented. We received amazing ideas from all communities, and it was a huge challenge to choose the winners. Handling the advancement of tech with AI is a new challenge for everyone, and we messed up. We want to promote as much as possible the creativity and art skills of our users, and we'll be updating our rules for the upcoming contests in the future. Because of that, the Woozworld team decided to reward every Woozen that submitted a design with the exclusive title. This will be handed out before or on October 15th. We are adding multiple new submission entries to this blog and will open an in-game vote for all the entries. You have until 8 p.m. Wooz time this Sunday to vote, and we will be using the most popular to create the Halloween collection. Important notes. Some will have their designs turned into full outfits in the game, while others will see parts of their looks brought to life, such as hair, wings, accessories, or poses. But everyone who gets at least one part done will receive the 6,000 Wooz. Our goal is to release most of these creations every week up to the 1st of November. And then they said about the use of AI, we're aware that some designs submitted earlier today included some AI elements, but decided to not remove anything that was announced. The Woozen votes will decide what gets created. And also, by this point, before they even released this article, people were kind of able to tell or suspect which of the designs had AI just by simply looking at them and looking at the details. This one design, which was the spider dress, was one of the multiple submissions that people thought were AI. So, Woozworld said, as a last note, this spider dress was started this morning a few hours before the results were announced. Since the team was already working on it, this dress will be completed. So basically, before people called out that design being AI in the comments, they had already started working on it to put it in the game. And since they had already started working on it, they didn't just want to cancel the whole thing. So they continued working on it, finished it, and it is now in the game and you can wear it. The comments on this article are, once again, very much backlash. They're not happy about this, which is understandable, but at the same time, I kind of get both sides. Well, yeah, they shouldn't have released an outfit that they knew had AI or was made with AI. They did already start working on it before it was realized, and it would kind of suck for them if they had to cancel the whole thing. Yeah, I'd really prefer it if you guys just disqualified the ones who used AI. You guys said it was against the rules, however, I do recognize it might be hard to have solid proof of AI use. I see artists online get sussed of AI all the time, even if they're real artists, because it's hard to tell. So Woozworld, if you have solid proof it's AI, please disqualify. If not, the people who used AI, y'all can have a conscience and some respect for real artists and just admit to it. Imagine spending hours and hours drawing between your lunch breaks just for people who asked an AI to make a drawing for them in 2 minutes, get the applause and win of other people's hard work. I guess it's only about morals when it's convenient because y'all clearly pick and choose so you can avoid controversy. This content made it very clear of the bias. Y'all would rather make AI drawings win just so certain people don't. Someone said, so no answer from staff regarding the whole issue. I'm surprised comments are still here. It seems like they're busy with their friends or they decided to ignore the comments. Endorsing and keeping entries with AI usage for creative contests like this while always pressing on the fact that AI submissions would get discarded instantly is not a good look, by the way. Rightfully so, many people were very upset that people who were actually creative and artistic and had talent and skill to design were losing due to a photo that took only a couple minutes to make with AI and required little to no work from the person that submitted it. I'm going to read you guys how Marza32 explained the whole situation to me. You know how design contests are always the top anticipated events for players, especially for those who entered it. So when the Halloween design results came out, it was a mixed reception and eventually more negative reactions since there were already a few entries that stood out and looked like AI-generated images. And since the staff are now free to engage with the community and other platforms for game leaks and other discourse, this concern was immediately forwarded to them. In the first set of released winners, there were 2 to 3 entries that were put under scrutiny. There may be others as well, but I'm only going to point out these ones since these were pointed out more by the players. There were obviously anomalies in the designs, the inconsistency of the model, the lines, the patterns, and the general style as well. I do have a few examples to show you guys. These are some of the submissions that I saw a lot of people saying were AI. The first one is the spider dress that was mentioned earlier and the one that Woozworld put in the game because they were already working on it. If you didn't know, Woozens on Woozworld do not have 5 fingers. They only have 4. So on all of the entries, 4 is the correct number of fingers that the Woozens on the designs should have. In the design for the spider dress, one hand has 4 fingers, meanwhile the other hand that is shown has 5 fingers. That is definitely a mistake that would be made by an AI. Another example is the zombie boy outfit. And no, this is not a random picture I just pulled from Google to put in this video. This is literally the photo that was submitted for the Woozworld outfit contest. This is definitely AI generated. This does not look like a Woozin at all. It doesn't look like it's related to Woozworld in the slightest. It has a very random, like, neon city nighttime background, which is something AI is kind of known to do. If you tell it to create a photo, sometimes it will just put like random backgrounds in there. The background was definitely not necessary for an outfit design contest. None of the other submissions really have a detailed, unnecessary background like this. Also, he has 5 fingers as well, instead of 4. The Woozin is not even in Woozin style. It's not Woozworld style at all. And again, it's very weirdly detailed. The third one is this cat outfit, and people said it is AI because the ribbon on the choker is far away from the choker and it's not connected. The eye patch kind of goes across the eye and fades into it. The paws shouldn't have been drawn like that. They should be behind instead of in front. And people also said it looks very, very similar to a VTuber model. She said, "We can argue that the zombie entry is a style choice. The artist felt more comfortable drawing and submitting that drawing instead of using the Woozin template. But there were still visible inconsistencies in the design, same with the white cat fit. For things such as the number of fingers in the hands, this could be just a random mistake for artists. They may have forgotten that they should follow the Woozin or Simpsons hands and not normal human hands. I have a hunch that they may have drawn the images beforehand, but then simply enhanced or modified it with AI, so it's AI assisted rather than generated. That is, if my assumptions are correct. And if they really did draw these on their own, I owe them an apology for assuming it's AI." In regards to the AI use disclaimer that the staff sent along with the results, from what I understood, they must have realized that they didn't give out clear instructions about the use of AI in our entries. Because they always make a point to add it in the rules for written and video entries, drawings, etc., that AI is prohibited. But since this contest didn't have that rule in the instructions, they personally can't ignore the AI entries since they're not being prohibited in this particular contest. And the staff became aware that there are AI entries but still picked the decent ones because, in my personal take, they are unique in a way that aren't seen yet in-game. Maybe some entries looked too similar to each other, so they have to pick other entries, even if it's AI, for a good variety of new designs. So they are aware of it prior to releasing the article, hence the disclaimer at the start of the article. But even with the disclaimer, this was still met with a backlash from the community, so they had to reorganize everything to release a new article for this. In the second set of winners, they still included entries that had AI elements in it, but the zombie boy from the first article is gone now, and then they expanded the list of winners for other deserving artists. What they simply said is they're going to regulate new rules in the use of AI, but never disclosed how or what these new rules are going to be, and there was no news of prohibiting AI in all of the contests. So from that, AI will be tolerated to some degree. As for these alleged players who used AI, I didn't find out nor investigate who they are. I don't want to nitpick at people about this and that. My observations mainly stem from how I normally critique myself as an artist who also makes mistakes and whose feed is also being drowned by so many satire AI accusations. Also, from what I recall, they tried to detect AI images, but they claim that it's hard to rely on these AI detections since they can be inaccurate. And in a later conversation, she also said, "And it's the reality, you get overshadowed by people who best you. Then, just improve, or better yet, think further outside the bigger box than them. Create more unique designs, show something they haven't done before. You can somehow guarantee a win just from that. No need to stoop so low by using AI just so you can get a win and beat other legit artists just because AI can do things better." So, after all of that happened, let's fast forward to Woozworld's next outfit design contest. It's Maya and Xena's WNTM outfits. In the article announcing this outfit contest, they do state, "Drawings only, no AI art allowed." No AI use is allowed. Any doubt of AI use will discredit the submission. In case of doubt, for any computer-generated sketch, the team may ask you for your source file sent through email. Sketches should only be hand-drawn or done through computer art. So yeah, thankfully, after that whole thing with the Halloween contest, it looks like AI is absolutely not acceptable in any future outfit contests. And as you guys saw, they're even making you basically prove that it's not AI. Like, they're taking this a lot more serious after that happened. Like, if they doubt that you used AI in your submission, they will ask you to send the source file for the submission to them through email. So then that way they can really see if it's AI generated or modified. I am really glad that they did that because, yeah, it really is not fair for people to use AI and then win when there are people out there who are actually talented and actually take the time and skill to create art for this contest. It's not fair that those people don't win and they lose to people that took 5 minutes to create the design with AI. I mean, they didn't even create it. Like, these contests are literally about creativity. They're to show off how creative you are and your skill. They're to have fun. AI is not human art. It is not human creativity. It does not require human work. And it will never be able to do that because it's not human. Some of these people were taking days, spending hours to create these designs whenever they had free time and they were losing to AI. That's ridiculous. And it's really not fair. I feel bad for anybody who has ever lost something like this to AI. Because that would really suck. If that happened to me, I would be so upset. But I am glad that Woozworld rewarded everybody that entered regardless, and they changed the rules for future contests, so now AI is absolutely just not acceptable at all. Because even though this may seem small, it's not. AI is taking a lot of stuff like this from people. AI has literally been taking people's jobs. AI has been replacing real humans, like big companies such as Microsoft, and all of that, they're replacing their human employees with AI. Because it's better and more convenient. These people are losing their jobs. These people have lives. These people need to make money, and they can't because they were replaced by a robot. Anyway, that's pretty much what happened. I really wanted to speak on this. That was my take. That was my opinion. I know a lot of people had strong statements on this, so please comment below your guys' thoughts. I want to hear all of them. I know I always say that, but like, this is something really important. AI is such an important discussion to have. And we can't let small things like this slide because it's helping to contribute to bigger things. Like I said, people losing their jobs and stuff like that. Replacing real humans that actually have talent and skill that takes time. That's all I have for this video. Once again, I'm really looking forward to seeing your comments on this. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Bye bye!